I wanted to share a little bit of something with you. What I recently wrote in a book called The Infant Survival Guide, written by Landon H. Smith. This book sheds light on, unfortunately, phenomena of infant death. And one very interesting chapter in this book is about your health of both of you before and during pregnancy. Especially the before part is a part that is not talked about much, because usually people, when they try to find someone to marry, they have some kind of meat market approach, and they really do not consider that person's health, that person's family, that person's genetic background. I know it sounds unmerciful and a bit eugenics-like, but it is absolutely not anything negative. You keep in mind that you want to have a healthy child, that you want your child to develop and live to its fullest potential, and therefore it's just reasonable to look at your own health, look at your own lifestyle habits, nutritional habits, and also look at the health of the person you want to have that child with. Look at the mindset of that person. Really examine that mindset, and you really can figure out if that person is marriage material when you see what kind of approach that person has when it comes to family and children, and if that person is willing to sacrifice when he or she actually sees how important it is for you, for that person, him or herself, and for a future child not to exist, not to be in that hamster's wheel, but really live. It is not about having many babies because they are so cute, but it is about creating another human life. And you as a parent, you set the tracks for that life. So I talked a lot, and now I'm gonna share with you some excerpts of that book. The Infant Survival Guide by Landon H. Smith, page 51, chapter 4. In the 30s, Western Prince DDS visited, studied, and photographed members of 14 primitive communities around the world. All the groups Prince studied provided special foods to prospective parents, both to mother and father before conception, to women during their pregnancy, and to growing children. They practiced the spacing of babies so mothers could replenish nutrient stores for subsequent children. Above all, they imparted their nutritional wisdom to the young, thereby ensuring the health of future generations. In sharp contrast, modern parents approach childbearing in a carefree manner and indulge their children in refined and highly sweetened foods from infancy. The Paleolithic human or caveman diet was not low in fat. Throughout the world, primitive peoples sought out and consumed fat from fish and shellfish, birds, insects, reptiles, dogs, sheep, eggs, nuts, milk products, whatever protein was available. Interestingly, the middle ear infections that are so common in Western cultures and obesity are rare in native societies. It is not surprising for people eating and living healthfully, their babies didn't experience many health problems our children suffer through. Raising a healthy child requires preconception planning at least for a few months, but it is better if it is for a whole lifetime of both prospective parents. Animal breeders know this. We take better care of our livestock than we do of ourselves. The prospective father would be wise to take a high-quality multiple vitamin and mineral capsule. Landon Smith writes in How to Raise a Healthy Child, the semen of all fathers of babies with congenital abnormalities, defects, or other abnormal conditions at birth showed a high degree of malformed sperm, low count, and poor motility. Developing excellent health before conception eliminated SIDS death in a medium-sized sample compared to a non-participating group. The prudent couple who are planning to conceive a baby should avoid any food that is not whole and take supplements that will help their bodies detoxify harmful substances that are unknowingly eating and breathing. Each dollar spent prenatally on health promotion could save $3.50 in special education and medical costs in the child's later life. Starting off and continuing with poor nutritional habits, people end up needing government assistance with their prescription drugs. Avoiding premature delivery could prevent a lifetime of physical, intellectual, and psychological problems and higher mortality. When it comes to birth weight, which is also closely connected to the mother's health, at the age of 12 or more, the effects of low birth weight are still apparent. Intelligence was down, emotional disturbances and educational difficulties were present, Dunny says. Intelligence is supposed to be genetically determined, yet infants born with a low birth weight, which may result from malnutrition, have IQs on the average 5 points below a normal birth weight child. To minimize risk of low birth weight, about 30 pounds total weight gain in a pregnancy is ideal. Very little, 3 to 5 pounds, is needed in the first trimester when the embryo is tiny. Some suggest a pound a week gain after the first trimester. Infants born to obese women who gained little weight during pregnancy had a high death rate. An obese mother would be wise to lose weight before but not during the pregnancy. Avoiding birth defects. It has been clearly demonstrated in the laboratory animal, pet animal, and agriculture that 98% of all birth defects are not genetic, quote, in nature, but in fact result from nutritional deficiencies of the egg, sperm, embryo, and fetus, and can be prevented by preconception nutrition. The animal industry has all but eliminated tragic and expensive birth defects by supplementing high-quality preconception and gestational nutrition to breeding animals, according to Dunny's book. In ugly contrast, of every 10 American children, 1 is born with a low birth weight, and 6 of every 100 are born with minor or major physical malformations. Weston Prince and Francis Pottenger showed abundant evidence for the nutritional method of avoiding structural and mental damage and achieving full genetic potential. Pottenger showed that abnormalities long considered genetic could be reversed by improved nutrition in the same or in subsequent generations. So I hope you all enjoyed that excerpt. If you find it necessary, please share it with others. I find it very necessary that people really know it and be aware of that fact. Our goal is really to build up a better society, a better nation, and changing your nutritional habits is one of the easiest ways to do it, and also the first way to start, because it all starts with you. You make the difference. So for now, I wish you a good start for the coming week, and see ya.